HBO turned down the pilot script for Game of Thrones several times between 2005 and 2009, believing that their audience would not be interested in a fantasy series. They changed their mind when George R.R. Martin promised that he would include one gratuitous sex scene for every 4.5 pages in all of the upcoming books. While initially reluctant to accept the role of Eddard Stark, Sean Bean agreed to join the Game of Thrones cast when it was made clear to him that the role satisfied the badass death scene clause that he includes in all of his contracts. As of March 2014, George R.R. Martin projects that he will conclude the Song of Ice and Fire series by book 17, meaning that the television series will probably continue for at least another 15 years. Game of Thrones is filmed in 35 countries across all 8 continents, including Mexico, North Korea, Vulcanvania, Prussia, and South Central Asgard. Because the production crew has been aggressively breeding larger and larger Siberian Huskies for scenes involving direwolves, PETA has protested every Game of Thrones premiere event since Season 2. An average of 7 direwolves are killed while filming each episode of Game of Thrones. It has been revealed that the surprise twist at the end of Season 4 will be the return of everyone's favorite King's Landing prostitute, Roz, as a sexy White Walker. Because the production budget for Game of Thrones is so expensive, casting directors were forced to hire mostly current and former pornographic actors for nearly 90% of the show's roles. CEO of Vivid Entertainment, Girk Dangus, responded to a question about why his company has not made a Game of Thrones porn parody with, "What would be the fucking point of that?" In an interview with Cat Fancy, George R.R. Martin revealed the reason that so many pivotal story moments happen at weddings is that he is a confirmed bridezilla. A Storm of Swords, the longest book ever written, gained infamy in 2012 when it was used as a weapon in 12 separate murder cases in the United States and United Kingdom. Due to local weapons laws in several shooting locations, nearly all of the swords in the entire series are added digitally in post-production. As a reference for the digital artists, the actors usually use bananas on set to simulate fighting. In April 2014, HBO bought the naming rights to the Detroit Lions and planned to change the team name to the Detroit Lions of Lannister for the upcoming season. When not writing novels, George R.R. Martin likes to relieve stress by yachting in the South Pacific and attempting to intercept Japanese whaling ships, a hobby that has been documented in the reality series Whale Wars. The iron price is actually $14.63. Actress Emilia Clarke was never told that the dragons would be added in post-production, leading to her most famous line being improvised, "Where are my dragons?" Expecting it to be his comeback role, Eric Stoltz spent months getting into shape to play the Mountain in the Season 1 episode Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things, only to be replaced after 2 days of shooting because producers found him to be, quote, too buff for the role. Every bathroom in each of George R.R. Martin's homes features a full-size replica of the Iron Throne with a working toilet built into the seat. Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings are actually the same story. No one has noticed because no one has had the time to fully read both series or make it through the movies without falling asleep. Dragons are gay. Tell us which movies you'd like to know more about in the comments.